The Global Institute for Disease Elimination was the brainchild between the President of the UAE and Bill Gates, and it dates back to their pledge to end polio back in 2011. I'm joined now by the CEO of the organisation, Simon Bland. Simon, welcome.
Hi, Ariel. Nice to see you.
Tell us about the organisation, and GLIDE is the acronym, I believe,
Yeah.
and its history.
So, GLIDE, the Global Institute, was actually launched in the fall of 2019 here in Abu Dhabi, in this amazing building, the Louvre here, incredible architecture, on an island that didn't exist 5 years ago. So it was like we're catapulted, sort of forward. And I think the Institute sort of builds on a legacy of philanthropy. Why we're here at a conference here in Abu Dhabi today. Really born out of the founding father, Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, the founding father of the UAE. His relationship with former President Jimmy Carter, and really thinking about giving back and addressing some of the most intractable challenges for some of the poorest people in the world. So I think the brainchild of his son, the now president, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, and his relationship with Bill Gates saw that by creating an institute here to think specifically about the challenges of disease elimination and disease eradication, we could help advance knowledge and accelerate progress towards those end goals of ridding this planet of some of these ancient and horrendous diseases of poverty.
So your aspirations are lofty and challenging,
yes,
to say the least. Simon, how far do you feel like you're progressing towards those goals?
Well, it's hard, all right? This is not an easy or quick fix. And, in my mind, I'm getting on in years, and I just think about, imagine yourself as a parent with children, and every summer you're terrified that that child will be infected by a virus and never walk again, or not be able to breathe without an iron lung, and it's not so very long ago that was polio. Polio was ravaging this world, and we're on the cusp of eradication. We're not there, and it's complicated, but it's a rare disease now. But that last mile is the hardest, the longest, and the most expensive. Humankind has only eradicated one human disease, smallpox, back in 1980. Another horrendous disease. But it's proven what is possible. We're making great progress on another horrible ancient disease called guinea worm disease or dracunculiasis. And there were only 14 cases last year. 3.5 million in the 1980s, 14. So there is progress. 50 countries have eliminated at least one neglected disease. Over 40 countries have eliminated malaria. There was malaria in this country not so very long ago. It was 2007. So there's a drumbeat there and there's progress there. But if we relax and if we take our foot off the gas, these diseases come back. You get resurgence. And so, there are challenges of climate and other things going on that make it risky. So, I guess my message is it's not easy. Proof of concept is there. There are countries that are celebrating elimination every year, but we have to persist. We have to keep investing and we have to persist.
One of the big questions that's being talked a lot about at the moment in general, but also, of course, at this conference, is how do you measure impact? How do you measure success? Is it as simple in your world as to say success is an elimination or an eradication of it? Is it that simple?
Well, it's a great question. And I was speaking to someone a week or so ago, and they're saying, it's basically, for some of these diseases, it's just giving enough people, enough tablets every year, and it goes away. How hard can it be? It's hard. I mean, it's really hard. So look, at one level, yes, the number of countries eliminating a disease each year is a metric of success, and an important one. In fact, when WHO set out their roadmap for neglected diseases, that is one of the metrics that they use, the number of countries that eliminate. The number of times we actually eradicate a disease, wipe it off the face of the planet, that's a pretty good indicator as well of success. I'm hoping that guinea worm disease and polio will not be too far in the future. But that's one dimension of this. I think there are other complicated dimensions that we need to think about, which are what are some of those other sort of metrics of success, because many of these neglected diseases are not killing. They are disabling, they are affecting dignity, mental health, ability to be productive. And so there are challenges of, well, how do you measure that?
So Simon, what does the next 12 months hold? What are your focus areas going to be?
So I think a couple of things. I think we have to do a few things. Our mission is really to advance knowledge and accelerate progress. So I'm thinking about what are the metrics of advancing knowledge and accelerating progress. So we're doing work on that. And the acceleration of progress for me is doing what we know works, finding ways of doing that better, but also finding new things that are even better. So new tools. So the adoption of new diagnostics, new therapies, new vaccines should accelerate progress. So that's something that's really important for us. But then optimizing the resources of the tools that we do know that we have right now is doing that better.
Simon, we really appreciate you taking the time to speak to us today. Congratulations on all that you're doing.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Hoya. Great to see you.